Okay, so in this class, we are going to learn about the Docker volume. Volume basically means sharing of the data among the two containers. Okay, we'll be looking into this volume part, create list and delete the volume. Along with that, we will look into the attaching the volume to the container and the sharing volume among the two containers, which is this line is very important. And the bind mount. What does it mean? We'll look into that one in a couple of minutes. So our main objective is to share the data among the two containers, because whenever we create new containers, we do not get the data which is in the previous container into the new container. So right now what I'm going to do, I'll just, okay, all the containers are installed. We'll come to our command line. Okay, we'll use the command, the first command is docker volume ls, which will show you the current available volume. And you can see we have one volume available with us, that is docker vol. What we are going to do, we'll be removing this one for now. Okay, it's in use, so we can't use. For that, we have to just remove the container which, all those containers which are using their volumes. And okay, now we don't have any volume, it's totally empty. Couple of images we have. These images. These are the previous images. We don't have to do anything with that one. And these are the container which are in the stop position. First, let's go and create it. Right now, if you see, we don't have any volume. Driver is empty, volume is empty. This was the first command, which is to list all the volumes. Now we are going to create our own volume. So docker create. Let's give it a name, that job what. Save it as a job. Press enter. We got a one volume with the name of job volume. If I see in this UI, we got one volume with this job volume. Okay, so we looked into the Docker volume ls to get. You can also do. If I just use volume. So what it will do, it will give you a pretty much information regarding what are the commands that you can use in your Docker volume. Okay, to manage your volumes, you can use Docker create command, which we looked into just now to create the volume. Docker inspect command, it will detailed information about one or two more volumes. So if I want to know about this volume, I can do Docker inspect, which I'll show you. Docker ls, we just looked into the Docker ls command, which help us to list all the volumes that are available. Docker prune means suppose you created the volume, but the volume is not used by any container. So it will remove only those volumes which are not used by any container. Whereas Docker RM, volume RM will remove all the container, all the volumes, even if they are in use. Okay. So if I do Docker volume inspect and the volume name, press enter. So you can see more information about this volume, that when it was created, is it created locally or in cloud? Label is none for now. Mount point means this is the point where this volume is actually got created. This is the location. Then main options, nothing much. And the scope is local, means it will run on your locally. Understood? To get the
Yes.
information about the volume, you use the inspect command. To create the volume, you use the docker create volume create command. To list the volume, you use ls command. In all this process, these two will always attach with each other. Okay.
Mm.
So no need to worry about what I have to write after docker. Should I use ls? No. If it is about volume, you have to write volume. You have to write volume. Docker volume create, docker volume inspect, docker volume ls, docker volume prompt, docker volume rm, like this. So far, so good. Any confusion?
Mm.
Now, what are we going to do? We are going to get one image from the hub. Okay. Let's take the Jenkins. Okay. The mostly uses this image of the Jenkins, okay, instead of the official one. If you see the pull request, pull download, 100 million, whereas in this one, it's 1 billion plus. So most of the people use this one as it gives the good interaction, UI interaction. Okay. To get this one on our system, what is the command that people uses? Docker pull.
Mm.
Okay. The image name is Jenkins. Okay. The first Jenkins is the username. The second Jenkins is the image name. And what is this? 2.5.0 dash JDK21.
The tag.
What is this?
Tag.
Yeah, that's a tag. I can copy this one and right click and press enter. So what it will do, it will pull this Jenkins image from the Docker Hub to your local. Just wait for a few seconds more. That we got the image into, but this image, it is just now an image, not a container running container. So we cannot run it or check it. To run this container, to run this image, we need Docker run command. That's it, nothing much we need. Docker run. Okay, what else we can do? We need to run on a certain port number, -p. Okay. What is the by default port number of this one?
80,
Jenkins? 8080
80. Mm.
colon 8080. This is the port binding. Our local port will be 8080 and host port will be 8080. Okay.
Mm.
Then you need another port for its API. Okay. The Docker, this one. To get Jenkins run on your system, you need two port number, one for the Jenkins itself, other for the Jenkins API. So it's basically around 50,000, around 50,000. Okay. We can modify this in the later on. Then what do we use after this? Docker run -p. We can give it a name to our image as well. Hyphen name. Let's give it a name as job1. Okay. So this name, instead of giving the random name to your Docker container, okay, basically we have seen previously that whatever the container we create, they get the random name, right? But instead of the random name, if I want a particular name, I can use hyphen name, job1, port number 8080, always -p always come with port number, okay? So this one. Now, to use the volume that we have created, -b, okay, for the volume which we have created, which was job vol, okay, and by default the location should be var slash. I need to check this one. Okay, let's check it. If you want to get more information on this one, click on this documentation. Slowly come down. You will see this is the normal Docker run -p if you do not want to use the volume part. -p, this is for what?
Host and container port.
Yes. Port mapping. Simply, you can say these two are for port mapping. First is for the Jenkins, second is for the API. Restart on failure. If it fails while starting, it will restart, but we are not using this command. And this is the image name that we just downloaded it. Okay. Below it, if you want to use volume, the by default workplace it will create. Not by default, you need to give it a name. Jenkins home basically the name of your volume. Our name is wall Jenkins, job wall. Okay. -b is for the volume, job wall, and war/Jenkins home. We will create this directory, okay, where our data will be stored, and this one, the image. Mhm. To this, what do we need? Name of the image. Let's take the image name from here. Copy the image name with the tag and paste it. All good. Press enter. There is some error. It is saying that 8080 is in use. So we cannot use 8080. Let's use some other code. 8040 for local, okay? And this one also we can change to, let's use 3000, 30,000. Let's press enter. Oh, the container name with the job one. Okay, job one, there's already one container. We cannot give the job name. Let's give it another name. Means Jenkins job one. Okay, let's press enter. Now it is start running. Okay. So we run in what mode? Attach mode, right? Let's go to, what was the port number? 8040, right?
Yes.
8040. So I'll come here. I'll come here. I localhost 8040. And see, our Jenkins is running on our local. So remember when we were going through the Jenkins classes, I told you there are a lot of ways to get the Jenkins on your system. First, we have looked into through this Linux, okay, EC2 machine, we looked into that one. Other, I told you that there is another way that is through Docker. And this is the way to get the Jenkins running in your system. So what I'll be doing, I'll just need a secret key. Your secret key is this one. If you run in attach mode, you will get the secret key. Mhm. If you want to install the plugin, you can install or select the plugin. I'll just, for the quick purpose, I'll just go it like this. Just install. Till now, any question regarding the volume? Means any question in the format or the command that we have used?
Yeah, can you explain the command again?
Yeah, sure.
From the second port, why we take that second port?
Oh, second port number.
Yeah.
If you go into the documentation, whatever the image you want to get, some of the images do not come single, they come along with their API as well. Okay. So if you go into the documentation part, click every image come with their own documentation, read the documentation for usage. Okay, just click on that one. And here they will tell you that it basically run on two ports. If they are giving you two port, just understand the other port, which is seems like in instead of 4 5 digit. Okay, these ports are generally for the API port. Here you can see you can build on the controller out of the box. The Jenkins project recommended that no executor be enabled on the controller in order to contact the agent. Okay, Jenkins is basically back and forth. You give the command, agent will reply you back through that one. Through an inbound TCP connection, a connection required to port that map, which is basically whenever there's an exchange of information, you require API for that one. And this port number will help you to establish this TCP connection. So this port will be used when you are connected agent to the controller. Okay. If you see the Jenkins is always work on this agent controller mode. You send something, then controller reply back. Sorry, agent reply back. You send through the command through your agent controller. So basically this UI is your controller. Okay. Whenever you create something, it is stored at certain place. Suppose this admin. Okay. Username is admin. This thing is admin. So these things are getting stored somewhere else, which is basically the agent task, which looks into all these things. Okay. Now these things you can't expect to be stored on your volume. Close. So by default, we are getting this port number. And the benefit of using on your on-premise, you do not have to change the IP address because it is on localhost. So in EC2, we will have to change the IP address and all. Understood? What is the use of that second port number?
Yes.
So whenever there is an exchange of information or it is connected with some kind of API, we get that other port number. That's it. Let's quickly create one item. Job, give it a job name, web job. Okay. Web job freestyle. This is for testing. Oops. We give the description and just for the testing purpose, we are using this one. Let's execute this shell. Go and save it. We can run it as well. So after this, all these tasks, you know what you have to do. Okay, nothing new in this one. What we created so far? Docker run is for the container. Okay. Hyphen name given the container name. If I come here in the Docker volume, I can see the container name is Gen job 1. Okay.
Yes.
I'll remove the previous one because it was getting confused. Okay, gen job one is the created name of your container, because earlier we were getting the default name or any random name, but here we have a specified name. So any container you want to specify their name, you just use hyphen hyphen name and whatever the name you want. That's it. Then we did the port mapping of Jenkins and Jenkins API. Got it?
Yes.
Then for volume, we use hyphen V. What is the volume that we created? We created job vol using the Docker create volume, Docker volume create, and we have given a directory path that whatever the volume, whatever we are going to create in this Jenkins image container, everything will be stored over here. So what I did, I created a job over here. The job name was web job. So the data of this web job, what is this data? The data over here will be stored on that, on your volume, the volume location that you have provided. Now, what I'll be doing, and after this, the Jenkins image name. Okay. So it's clear, not too much tricky. For volume, you use hyphen V. For port, you will use hyphen P. And for naming the container, you use hyphen hyphen the name. Let's come out from this one. I'll stop this container. Control C. It stops the container. Okay. Once we stop the container, you won't see the Jenkins running over there. Okay. So the container which we used was 8040. And since we stopped it, so it won't run right now. Localhost. I'll close this one. See, we are not able to access it. Why? Because the container is in stop mode, right? The container is stopped right now. Now, the next task, what we are going to do, we are going to create another container with the name job2. Okay. We are going to give another port number, suppose 8060. And here also, suppose 70,000. You tell me, if I remove this one, this volume part, and create this another new container with the new name, will it have the same job that we created in our previous Jenkins?
No.
Just like imagine Ubuntu. In the Ubuntu section, what we did, we created two container of Ubuntu from a single image. And we created one directory in one Ubuntu, and we try to look, is that directory present on the second Ubuntu? And what answer we got? No,
No.
because these two are totally separate, two different containers. There is nothing sharing going on between them. But here, if I use the same volume where the data is being stored, we are expecting that we will get the same thing that present in our previous Jenkins. Now, if I press enter, okay, 70,000 is invalid. Yes. 20,000. Okay. And this time, if you see, we do not get the secret key, right?
Yes.
So this is 8060, no? And it is running.
Yes.
I'll go to my, if it is a new one, it should give me the option from the beginning, install it, that one and this one, 8060. And see, directly it is asking for the your credential, asking for the secret. So this is totally a different container. And see, we got this one on our second Jenkins, this job. Understood? There is
Yeah.
sharing of data from the first Jenkins to this Jenkins. These are two different Jenkins, okay? But we are sharing the data among them using the volume part. And this is the important part of this volume, that you are sharing the data. In organization, you have to use this volume because they don't want to separate things. They want to be things to be shared among the different containers. I can use this volume for the other images as well if they need the data of this Jenkins. Understood? This is
Yes.
also known as coupling of data, coupling of volume coupling. Means we are coupled them together using this volume part. Okay. Control C. No. So far, so good. Any confusion anywhere?
Mm.
So far, we have used the volume which we created on this Docker, right? Now, what if I want to use this volume? Because right now it is getting stored where? In the Docker. If I do the inspect part, Docker volume inspect. Oh, I forgot one thing. What is that? Inspect what? Inspect the job volume name. So right now all the data is going inside this one. Okay. Inside this data, there is another slash was slash Jenkins one got created and your data is getting stored on that location. What if I want that everything should be on my local? Then in that case, that is known as job mount. Okay. We are going to mount that one on our local instead of using the Jenkins path. So if you see, uses of the volume, we'll see the decoupling container from storage. Okay. Shared volume among the different container. We looked into that one. Attach volume to a container. We looked into that one as well. And on deleting the volume, it does not, on deleting container, volume does not delete it. Yeah, this is also very important point, which basically says that if I delete the container, volume will remain the same at its place. This is not going anywhere. I can delete this container. Nothing will happen. I can create another container and attach to this volume. It's easy, right? Use the different port. That's it. Use the different port, different name, and you can attach this volume with that container. Take it as a task for you guys. Try it out by yourself. Okay. Delete this container. And then after what you will do, create another container and attach this volume to that one. I can create thousands of container with a different name and attach this volume. I'll get the same output. It's clear?
Yes.
If you see the Docker mount, bind mount, okay, this is known as bind mounts. Interview directly ask you, what do you understand by the bind mount? Okay. So the answer you will say, like a file or directory on a hosted machine is mounted into a container. What does it says? Your hosted machine is your local one, right? So if I mount my local machine into a container, I'll create a container and I'll create a volume in my local and I'll mount them together. Let's see them practical. This was the task. So we'll start doing one by one. I'll create another container and I'll mount this container. Oh, sorry. I'll mount my system location to this container. Now, instead of the volume that we created, I'm going to use the volume of my own system, that is C colon slash users slash AV89 slash desktop. And let's create a home Jenkins. Now, what is this basically? This is the location. I can go into this location. First C, then users, then AV829, then desktop. And here it will create one folder with the name of home Jenkins. And inside that one, it will mount everything, all the files of the Jenkins. Looks so far so good. Anything, we have to change the port number. Let's give it a new port. 19, and let's give it a 3000, 40,000. Okay, anything else? So what we have changed the Jenkins, sorry, container name, because we are creating a new container. Port name, every new container comes with a new port. Instead of our own volume, we are giving the location of our own machine. And this is the Jenkins home. From the data will be stored from here to your local. And this is the image name. That's it, nothing else. I'll press the enter. Home Jenkins, no? We must be getting a home Jenkins in our desktop. Let's see. So here it is. One file got created with the name of home Jenkins. See, everything is getting created. Secret key is available on this location. Secret key provided here as well. Yeah, they have provided here as well. Remember one thing, sharing of the volume, this hyphen wall, if I use that volume, we will get always the same one, same sharing of data. But here the volume we have changed. Okay,
Yes.
now the volume we are mounting on our own system. So next time, what I can do, I can create another container 4, but this will be same. Then only you will get the same output, like whatever I create. If you see, I get here secret key. Don't get confused that why the data is not getting shared. The previous data is not being shared. This will create a new Jenkins for you. Localhost. What was the port number?
9010, I guess.
9010. So see, this is a different Jenkins. Now you may be asking, sir, why the data is not getting shared, right? You may be asking why the data is not getting shared.
Yeah.
Simple answer is we created the volume job wall where we are sharing the data from the previous two container. But in this container, what is different here? It is not job wall. It is your own local system. So now we are not sharing that data is not available on job wall. Data is available on this one. So for this container, okay, there is no job wall where the data is being stored. This is the new location for this one. And new location does not contain anything. Got it? And that's why we are seeing the new Jenkins. So if I do all the setting on this Jenkins, if I create the secret key, never install the selected. Is there any way to uninstall? Just to get the things done quickly and just starting this. So next time if you create the container using this location, then you will get whatever you create on your Jenkins right now. But the job wall is no longer available over here. Understand this. And that's why sharing of data is not happening. Sharing of data will be taking place only if you share the same volume. And we are not sharing the same volume location. It is not job wall, right? It is your own machine system. And that's why we are getting a new Jenkins. So this one is starting everything from the starting new. Any question? Feel free to ask. If you still have the confusion, feel free to ask. In my initial times, the only question I was having, why the data is not getting shared. Okay, and the answer is only this. Earlier, the location is job world. Now the location is C user. It is your own system location. So we have changed the volume location itself. If the previous volume contain your all the web job, all the tasks, but this location does not contain, and that's why you are not getting anything. That's the simple answer. So suppose I'll do AD. Okay. Instead of admin, I'll do AD, 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 AD. Or you can simply skip and continue as admin. Don't do anything. Finish. Start using the Jenkins. Create a job. I'll use hello job. Okay. Freestyle. Okay. This thing. Save it. Done it. Now if I come here, I got this one created. Okay. I'll stop this one. Control C. Stopped. Now it will not run on 9010. What I'm going to do, I'll create another container with the name job 4. Okay. 9080. 6,000, 60,000. That's it. A new container will be created with the in the port number 9080. Press enter. And see, they are not giving you any credentials. Now this time we are using 9080, right? Localhost 9080. So we will getting the job we created, hello build, on this location. So we should get the direct form. See, Jenkins is getting ready. Your browser will be required. So right now the data is being taken from your local system, not from the Jenkins directory, the previously created. It is getting taken everything from the home Jenkins here. Everything is being taken from here. And that's why it is taking time.
Hello.